Okay, so I'm pretty sure that by now we've all seen how Stranger Things ended. And yeah, if you've been anywhere on the internet, you already know people are mad. Like, really mad. People are saying the ending was awful, that it left too much unanswered, that it didn't explain enough, that it was disappointing after all these years. And honestly, I get why people feel that way. But personally, I don't agree. Like, at all. Because in my opinion, the ending wasn't bad. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't lazy. It was perfect. And let me tell you why. Okay, now, so the biggest complaint that I keep seeing is that Stranger Things left so many questions unanswered. And yeah, that is true. There are a lot of things that we don't get clear answers to. Stuff we've literally been asking about since season 1. Like, how does 11 know Will? But here's the thing that I think a lot of people are missing. Stranger Things was never about answering every question. Think about how the show starts. I mean, yeah, the first scene is Hawkins' lab, someone running, a Demogorgon attack, and all that other chaos. Scary, intense, classic Stranger Things. But the first real heart of the show, the kids in the basement, playing Dungeons and Dragons, rolling dice, arguing over rules, telling their own story. That wasn't just a fun little scene. That was the core of the show, the thing that defined what Stranger Things was really about. Imagination, friendship, and telling stories together, even when the real world is terrifying. Stranger Things is basically just a D&D campaign, but on Netflix. And if you've ever played D&D, you already know that you don't get answers to everything. Ever. In a real campaign, there are always things you never fully explain, lore that stays vague, stuff that just exists. Not because it's bad writing, but because the story isn't being explained to you. It's being lived. And campaigns don't end because every mystery is solved. They end because the players grow up, because the table changes, because eventually the dice stop rolling. And that's exactly how Stranger Things ends. And here's the part that made the ending click for me. At the end of the show, the Stranger Things story ends, and the D&D campaign ends, both at the same table. And then, instead of cutting to black forever, Holly and her friends show up, and they start their own campaign. And that moment says something really important. It tells us that the adventure is over, but storytelling isn't. Hawkins doesn't need saving anymore. The world doesn't need heroes anymore, but kids will always need stories. And that's why we don't get answers to everything. Because life doesn't give you answers to everything either. Growing up doesn't come with explanations. You don't get to know why certain things happened, what everything meant, or how every loose end ties together. You just move on. And that's exactly what the ending does. And yeah, I'll say it straight. The ending isn't what a lot of people wanted. It's not flashy, it doesn't over explain itself, it doesn't exist to satisfy theories, but it feels real. It leaves you sitting there after the credits roll, just thinking. And honestly, that's rare. A bad ending makes you angry and forget about it. But a meaningful ending, that makes you reflect. And the fact that people are still arguing about it, that tells me it worked. I really think the Duffer Brothers knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't trying to make the most satisfying ending. They were trying to make the most honest one. One that says that not everything gets closure, not everyone stays together, and not every story needs to explain itself. Some stories just end, and you carry them with you. So yeah, people can give the show all the shit they want, but I won't, because I saw the vision. I saw what they were trying to do, and for me, it worked. Stranger Things didn't end with a final answer. It ended with a final roll of the dice. The campaign ended, but the game didn't. And honestly, that is why the ending is perfect. Thank you.